You're watching Lupina TV, and I'm your host, Anais. This is the channel where I'm documenting my graphic design journey as a freelance graphic designer. Today, I wanted to talk about this Beetlejuice poster I did. I'm going to explain how I work on a poster, and I'll also be sharing some fun facts about film throughout the video. So if that sounds like fun to you, good! That means you clicked on the right video. Thanks, by the way. So to start off, I looked up some inspiration, and once I had all the files that I needed, I made an Obsidian file where I put all the visual inspiration I found for this project. Then I made different categories, so I divided it up into font, composition, colours, texture and line art. Then I linked each visual to a category and wrote down why it was linked to that category and what my intentions were for the look of or feel of each category. To start off, I did a sketch. I started in Procreate. After researching how I wanted it to be composed, I could do an initial sketch, and I actually wanted to make this poster just because of an idea I had to use the worms as a frame for the poster, and I also really wanted to have the house look flat in a style that feels vintage to me. As I'm getting started in Illustrator, I want to go through the fun facts about film. Also, know that this Illustrator file hates me now because I wanted to add gradients and grain to just about everything. So if you notice everything going black and white and only showing lines, that's because Illustrator had enough of me. Now we're going to get to the fun facts. Please be sure to take these with heaps of salt. So the first fun fact is that Beetlejuice is actually named Beetlejuice. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I'll put it on screen. And it's the name of a star, and apparently Tim Burton said that he exists across time and space. I thought I'd start with that one because I think it's quite well known, but I didn't know, and also the sentence about time and space is really cool, so I thought I'd start with that. Now for the second fun fact, which this one came up the most in the research. The original script is far less comedic and much darker. So in the original script, the car crash is depicted graphically with Barbara's arm crushed and the couple screaming for help as they slowly drown, which is horrible. And it also says that Beetlejuice was more seen as a winged demon that takes on the form of a short man, which is less dark and more comedic to me, imagining that. But the worst part of this is he didn't just want marriage from Lydia, if you know what I mean. So very dark. But this fact came up in almost every article, and thinking of Beetlejuice as this winged demon is so weird to me because I just love that suit. I can't imagine him differently. So you might remember I was a bit iffy about one of the fun facts about how much I believe it's actually true, and this is that fact. So apparently studio executives wanted to call it Scared Sheetless. Warner Bros had some concerns about the title during pre-production, and they suggested calling it House Ghosts, which is so generic that it almost becomes funny, and apparently Burton joked that they should just call it Scared Sheetless, and they took that seriously and jumped at the idea apparently. We are now on to our fourth fun fact, and this is about the bridge that collapses at the beginning of the film. Apparently the crew had to drive around everywhere looking for the perfect spot to build this bridge, and because the bridge collapses and they had to do multiple takes, they needed to set up a sort of dam to catch everything when it would go downstream, as to not get lots of materials just in the river. And they encountered a lot of difficulties with thunderstorms, and they kept having to rebuild it, so apparently that was quite difficult. So now we're finishing with probably my favourite fact about the making of this film, which is that the visual effects didn't get a huge budget. This means that for everything that they did, which was like they did stop motion, they did puppetry, prosthetic makeup, lots of effects that don't use CGI or anything. So it's a lot of problem solving, and I think that people come up with more creative ways of making effects if they have more constraints, and I think that it's just so much more charming, and I think that's why I love this film so much. The reason for this apparently is because Tim Burton wanted it to feel like a B movie. Not that B movie. I didn't know about these, but apparently in the 50s it was regular to go and see 2 films for the price of 1. And the second one was called a B movie, and it was made with a lower budget and it was shorter than the main film. And a lot of them seemed to be Western and horror films, and Tim Burton enjoyed the feel of them. So that's why he was inspired to make it feel, more low budget for the visual effects. And I just think it's really charming and I love it.
So here is the final result of the poster. I'm quite happy with it. I love the textures, the colours, all of that stuff, because I chose it. And here are some mock-ups too.
If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Thank you for spending your time watching my video, it means the world, and have a lovely day.